From the Lightning, we have Erik Cernak and Blake Coleman. Media, please raise your hand if you have a question and identify if your question's for Erik or Blake. We'll start with John Waro, Associated Press.
I guess it's morning, Blake. John Waro with the AP. I know slow start was an issue last night, but what about the slow starts that this team has had, and how do you guys correct that? Also knowing that you haven't had a lead in like 3 games at this point, even though you won one of them in a lead in regulation, even though you won one of them. What do you guys need to address here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want to put yourself behind the 8 ball that frequently, but yeah, you just got to focus on the energy you come out with and the attention to detail. Obviously, these games are goals are going to be at a premium, and you can't afford to be caught sleeping in the first period. And I think we just came out a little bit tentative and sluggish, and then our play was a little sloppy. But obviously, we'll work on our starts. But I thought we got better as the game went on, and I would expect more of our game in the third period moving forward than the first 2.
Diana Neros, Tampa Bay Times.
For each of you, I was just wondering what you guys saw once you joined this team of Victor Hedman and Andrei Vasilevsky, whose reputations you knew before, but once actually playing with them, what you learned about them.
Like for me, since I got here to Tampa last year, that was amazing. They're one of the best. Vasi's the best goalie, and Heddy's best defenseman. So it's amazing. You can see them every single day here, on the ice, off the ice, and they're big leaders. They're always trying to do the best for the team, for them. So we're really happy we have them here, and that's amazing.
Yeah, I think for me, obviously it's one of those things you don't truly appreciate somebody's talent until they're doing it in front of you night in and night out. And both those guys are extremely consistent, extremely competitive. They both want to win. It's the way they're built, and they definitely drive the team. And when those 2 are on their game, the team's typically on their game. So they're the engine of this team right now, and they've been really good for us during these playoffs, and a big reason why we are here. But I think the biggest thing for me is just seeing how consistent they are in their effort, and how well they play each night.
Tom Galletti, NHL.com.
Hey Blake, there was I think 100 and something hits last night. You guys had 50 plus. They had 50 plus. You had 6, I think. Do you see that level of physicality staying up throughout this series? Is that the way it's going to be played, do you think?
Yeah, I think that's part of their identity, and obviously that's become a part of Tampa's identity as well here. And I imagine that it'll stay physical. I don't know if there'll be over 100 every night, but the first few games of a series, there's typically a lot of tone setting and guys making a point to finish their hits and wear the other team down. So I'm sure it'll continue here for a little bit. We've got a ton of guys that play a physical game, so it's something that we're comfortable with. And like I said, I don't know if it'll carry on the entire series, but I would imagine that I think just even the way the ice is here, it's a little bit slower, and it's harder to make some plays when the ice is like that. So I think there's going to be a lot of pucks put behind defensemen and a lot of finish checks, and I think that's just the way it's going to be this series.
Mark Spector, Sportsnet.
Yeah, Blake, so your coach's motto is short memory in the playoffs. We've heard it many, many times. But the other side of that, of course, is if you don't learn from your mistakes, you're just going to keep making them again. Can you tell me the difference between studying what didn't go your way and improving it, and having a short memory and forgetting everything? Where do those 2 things intersect?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think short memory is more about the way we came out as far as our energy and our execution. I think that we all know that we're capable of playing better and executing passes and playing a skating game much more so than we did in game 1. And I think that's where the short memory comes into play. I think there's not going to be a shortage of studying film and learning the team's tendencies that we're playing against. We have a great staff that dissects the game really well, and we'll start getting into that here today and obviously into tomorrow. But I kind of view those as two different things, and it's one game, but we've learned a lot about our opponent already, and now we know what to expect and we know what we're in for, and I expect this to be a long and hard-fought series.
Nick Katsanika, NHL.com.
For either of you, the Golden Knights didn't have their legs in Game 1 of the Western Conference Final. They played a lot better after that, but still struggled to get inside and Gobin. Kind of wondering how much of that series you watched, either casually or scouting, and if you learned any lessons from it.
Yeah, I think everybody from us watching the games against Vegas and Dallas, important against Dallas, it's managing the puck, and put pucks behind their D and go pressure them. So that's really important what we have to do, and they're forechecking really hard, and they're right on us like they showed yesterday in the first period. So we just have to be ready for that next couple games and handle it really good in the start of the game, and then I think we played really well in third period. So we just have to continue doing that.
Jim Matheson, Post Media.
This is for Blake. You haven't seen much of Steve Stamkos since he's been hurt, but if he does come back, how much do you think he'll have an impact when he hasn't played a game since February?
Stammer's, he's a superstar in this league, obviously, and to some extent, it doesn't matter how much time off he's had. I think if you see Stammer, you're going to see the best of him. That's just the way he is, the way he carries himself. He's going to give you everything he's got, and honestly, an 80% Stammer is better than most players in this league still. So, not sure if we'll see him or not, but if we do, it's going to be a great boost to our team, and not only his play on the ice, but obviously his leadership in the locker room. This team follows him even when he's not in the room. So. I'm sure his impact would be huge, and we'd be excited to have him, obviously.
We'll do one more in English, and then we can do a couple in Slovak for Eric. Paul Strajewski, NHL.com.
Hi, Blake. Since the playoffs began, you guys have lost, I believe, 5 games, and the first 4 losses, you were able to make a pretty good bounce back, winning the following game. What I'm wondering is it more of a result of maybe of a video session and the X's and O's adjustment, or more of a mental adjustment that you guys were making after such losses?
Probably a combination of both. Like I touched on, I think, I think everybody on our team would tell you Game 1 is nobody's proud of the way we played, and we have a very proud group. So I expect every guy to look in the mirror and bounce back and play better than they did in Game 1. And when we have 4 lines going and all our D rolling, it's we're a hard team to contain for anybody in this league, and I think we kind of sat back and felt our way into the series, but I would expect us to take the fight to them moving forward, and I think part of that is game plan, and the other part of that is us executing it. So I'm excited to see the response from the boys.
Blake, thanks a lot for the time. You can be excused.
Thank you.
We'll do a couple here in Slovak, Zdeněk, if you need to, but certainly one. Go ahead, Zdeněk.
Yeah, I'm gonna take 2. Ale jak bude pro vás ten příští zápas začít s vedením, což vám doteraz moc nešlo? Dallas určitě není snadný tým hrát. Jak na ně v příštím zápase?
Určite poviem pravdu, nebolo to príjemné, predsa nemali sme to veľa dní na odpočinok, Dallas nás vybehol, boli hneď na nás, forčekovali nás všetkými hráčmi pomaly, takže mali sme to veľa ťažšie tú prvú tretinu, museli sme sa nejako postupne adaptovať na to, ale myslím si, ako išiel zápas, tak sme hrali lepšie a lepšie a v tretej tretine sme ukázali, čo je v našom tíme, ako vieme hrať a dúfajme, že budeme pokračovať len v takom výkone, ako sme podali v tretej tretine.
So one more?
Yeah, go ahead, Zdeněk.
Určitě jste museli ze sebe rychle oklepat to zklamání z prvního zápasu. Na druhé straně, jak si užíváš tuhle skvělou jízdu v letošním playoffs?
Myslím si, že v finále playoff sa nestáva každý rok a užívam si to fakt veľmi. Podarilo sa mi to už v mojej druhej sezóne, takže som s tým veľmi spokojný. Dúfajme, že to vyťahneme až do toho víťazného konca. Séria bude určite dlhá, hraje sa na tých 7 zápasov, takže nebude to jednoduché a dáme určite do toho všetko, aj keď sme prehrali ten prvý zápas. Ale myslím si, že v našom týme je veľká sila a dúfam, že to zvládneme.
Thanks, Eric. Appreciate the time. Thank you.